Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic few days off with your family and friends. And I wanted to get you the October market report, which is so far late, so late this month. I'm so sorry it's getting out late, but I wanted to get you some numbers. I looked a little bit closer at the whole MLS versus just Oneida and Vilas, so we could see if anything is different really between my little baby world in which I work compared to our entire MLS. And really across the board, it's still, despite what everybody is saying, it's still a strong real estate market up here. Yes, we are down in new listings, probably 17% on average. October, interestingly enough, was the first month in a long time that we actually saw more new listings, October of 2023 versus October of 2022 in our entire MLS. And that was a bit of an anomaly, but we're talking about 1.37% up. So that's probably like one and a half listings. So not a huge amount, but it is something that is new that I wanted to share. But otherwise, across the board in both Vilas, Oneida, and our entire MLS, we are down in new listings year to date. We are up in average selling price. We are up in average listing price. There's about a 2% difference between those two that does show signs of wiggle room in negotiation. And we are still down overall on days on market. What does that mean as far as specific numbers go? Well, if we look at sales closed, we have had 2,873 total sales closed year to date at the end of October, and that is down almost 18% compared to the year prior. So just to give you some perspective. What does it really mean to you though as a consumer? What it really means is that if you're a seller and a buyer comes out to look at your house right now, chances are they're really serious. So I am talking to all of my sellers weekly. If we get a buyer and somebody writes us an offer, we want to think long and hard before we let them wiggle away, because there are not as many of them that are super serious right now. Because if they're coming out and they're paying a higher interest rate and they're paying a higher price than they have traditionally had to, they want to win in something. So we want to really work with any buyer that comes along. And if you're a seller, or if you're a buyer, you want to make sure you're being as creative as possible. You're taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there. And you're seeing one when one appears. So one of my biggest frustrations is a lot of times agents will call, or buyers will call and ask for, where are the short sales, where are the foreclosures, where are the deals that are out there? And there are deals out there. You just have to recognize them and take advantage of them when you see them. People don't like to buy things that are projects or need a little bit of work. And there's a few of them out in the marketplace right now that are a little bit labor intensive, but they will provide a great deal for somebody who's willing to dip their toe into that particular market. So if you're curious about anything like that, give me a call. So yeah, buyers, you've got to be creative with your financing, with your marketing, with what you are putting into an offer, seller concessions, all of those things that we can assist you with. And again, if for sellers, when a buyer comes along, you want to make sure you are really negotiating to your full extent, because there's not as many of them as there have been before. And I also wanted to just close this month's market report with a little quote, perspective. So in 1971, the interest rate for a mortgage was 7.33%, which is pretty close to where we are right now. And if you waited for interest rates to go down, you wouldn't have purchased a home until 1993. So you would have had to rent for 22 years to wait for those interest rates to go down. Meanwhile, the value of real estate quadrupled in those same 22 years. So don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and then wait. Hold it, use it as an investment, and then sell it when the market is good. So as we always like to say, marry the house and date the rate. So don't be afraid to dip your toe into real estate, and trust the professional advisors that you hire. And if you aren't working with a trusted professional and advisor, you need to find one in the marketplace you want to be in, because that is what makes the difference for a lot of buyers. It is that voice of reason in their head, giving them good advice and helping them to make the best decision for themselves. Have a great day, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.